To all the geeks and nerds out there, welcome to a brand new series on the channel. This series is called Simply Minecraft. Why is it called that? That's because we are going to focus on the simplest way to do things in the game. Things are nice and easy in survival, and things that are more approachable for more casual players. So if you're new to the game, or you don't have that much time to play, here we're going to have a bunch of designs for things you can do nice and easily and quickly in survival. And today we're going to be looking at an infinite villager breeder, which is right here. Now, it may look simple, there's not many blocks to it, but it's actually got quite a lot of features. We can breed villagers infinitely, we can turn the farm on and off, we can also sort the babies from the adults, and it even has a pickup system so you can take the grown-up adults off to wherever you need them, to your iron farm or to your villager trading hall. Alright, so let me show you how this thing works. So this is the Simply Minecraft world. We're going to be building everything in this series in this very world, and as you can see here, the villagers are actually breeding. There are hearts, so that means they are in love, and any moment now a baby will appear. And what that baby is going to do, it's going to try and jump on these beds, because kids, they like beds, and what he's going to try and do is going to try and run across here in any minute, and he'll drop into the water stream underneath. And then when he does that, the water stream will take him over here where all these other babies are. So if we just hang around here and look at this baby, there he goes, he runs off and runs over there. Yeah, so he's trying to get to these beds over here. There's a couple of trapdoors here, which we'll talk about in a bit, and he thinks he can run across it, and that means he'll fall down there. And what happens down here is that we have these babies in this water stream. They're standing on this cobble wall, which is actually a little bit high. You see they're kind of floating up above the cobble wall. The cobble wall is actually a block and a half tall, so they kind of stand on top of that, and even if they jump, they can't get into this water stream above them. When they turn into adults, of course they are then bigger. They're 2 blocks tall, so their head goes into the water. They then swim up the water and end up over here with the water stream taking them right into this corner, ready for them to be picked up by this pickup system here. So here we have a dispenser here that's got a bunch of minecarts in it. If we press a button just over here, it will go up, take our villager, and then we can send him off to wherever we need him. So over here we have the breeding pair, and all we've got here, we've got a 9x9 area of dirt that we've planted with carrots. You can use either carrots or potatoes. We've got a water source in the center, and then we've got a composter here. So one of these villagers takes the profession of the farmer because of the workstation right here. He'll go around and pick up all of the carrots and replant them. He'll also share them with his friend over here, and then when it gets to the right time of day, they will breed. And as you saw earlier, the baby goes across there into the system. Now the way to turn this farm on and off, because this thing will run infinitely and keep producing villagers, you can end up with quite a lot of villagers here if you just leave it running, and it's probably good to turn this off once you've got enough villagers. Just do that. So you just have to block the path over here. So if we do that, if this block is here, then these villagers don't think they can get to these beds, and they will stop breeding. So that's how the farm all works. So we're going to go into a block by block tutorial, and as we do, I'll talk about each area of the farm in a bit more detail. First things first, here is a list of all the materials you need to build this infinite villager breeder. One thing to note is that here I've got a lot of glass. Now you don't need to use glass, you can use any building block at all for this. I've only used glass here just so we can see inside the farm as I talk about it. But yeah, you can do this with stone or cobble or whatever else you need, no problem at all. And of course it could be a mixture of different blocks. So you need around 6 stacks of building blocks. Apart from that, everything else is here laid down. So I'll just scroll down this list. You can pause the video if you want to note down all of these items. Not too many at all. All right, let's get into the block by block tutorial. A quick reminder before we do the block by block tutorial that everything on this channel, including this series, is all in Java edition, and we're currently in 1.16.2. So if you're in that version, then everything should be good. If you're on Bedrock, then this stuff may not work. The first thing to do is to create a 9x9 area of dirt, just like I've done here. And then we need to find the middle point. So we need to count in 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5 in from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your center block. So knock that out. And inside here, you can put any stair or any slab, and then get yourself some water in a bucket and waterlog this block just like that. Then get your building block of choice and make a 2-high wall all the way around the edge, just like this. Next up, get your composter and put it on top of this water source block. So it's easy if you've got a stair, just place it on top like that. If you use a bottom slab here, then what you can do is put a temporary block next to it and then place your composter on that block and then remove it. The next thing to do is to add a block on top of the composter there and then put a torch on top of that. So this block is here to stop the villagers jumping up on top of this composter and then getting stuck inside it, or if they jump off again, they might trample the crops. So that helps on that front. Then get a torch and put them in each of the corners just like this, and and that will ensure that all of the crops have enough light level so they can all grow. Then find a center point of one of your walls, whichever wall you want the villagers to come out of, and then break out those 2 blocks just like that. Then you can get your trapdoors, put one here on this dirt, and then open it like that. Then get a temporary block and place it here, and then put another trapdoor on top of that, and then close it up, and then get rid of your temporary blocks just like that. Now is a good time to get our breeding villagers into place. So all I've done here is I've got 2 villagers in some boats. I've taken them from the village over there and brought them close to our breeder over here. And sometimes it's hard to get these villagers exactly where you want them, but there's a little trick you can use. So here I've put 2 beds inside the breeding area just temporarily. We'll remove them shortly. And we've got the 2 villagers down here with a pathway that they can go up there. So what we can do now is we can remove the boats just like this. And then we can remove this path block here so they can find their way up to those beds. Now when it becomes nighttime, the villagers will try and find a bed that they can pathfind to, and they should walk up there and get into bed. In fact, this guy's going already. So this guy was in fact attracted to the workstation. So he's become a farmer. He's the guy that's going to be getting the carrots for us. And the other guy is still down there waiting. But as the sun goes down, he should hop into bed. And here they go, the sun is setting and they are walking up the stairs, and they should get into these 2 beds just like that. There we go, awesome. So they're now in place. Then we can get our block of choice and fill in this block around here. And then all of this temporary stuff here we use to get the villagers up. We can remove all of that now, no problem at all. So with that all gone, we can now get our hoe and we can till all of this land, all of these dirt blocks all the way around, and then get your carrots and plant as many carrots as you've got. It doesn't matter if you don't have enough carrots to fill the whole land, because this farmer villager will start picking these and replanting them for you as long as all of this land is tilled with your hoe. Of course, with these villagers in bed, they are now in the way now that I've tilled and planted all the crops. So I'm going to have to break the bed for this guy and also for this guy. And then we can till this land while they're here and yeah, plant these carrots. With our breeding villagers safely in place, we can now continue the rest of the build. So come round here to where you added our trapdoors previously. And now I'm going to use a different type of block here just so it's easier to see, but you can use any block you like here. So what we do now is we come down from our wall and place 5 blocks down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 3 blocks next to that, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 blocks on this dirt here underneath the trapdoor, 1, 2. So we have that kind of shape like that. Then we can come underneath here and then put a temporary block here with a block next to it. We can get rid of that if you like. And now we need to have 6 blocks that go across here. So we've got 1 there, and we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now for this bit here, we need to have a wall 3 high. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then do the same thing on the other side over here. Next up, come to the end of this track right here and place a cobble wall. Then you can put a temporary block on top of that and then place 2 blocks next to it like that, and then get rid of your temporary block. Then here on this block here, we can add another wall up here 4 high. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and again the same on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Then over here we can add a block right here, here and here, and then get a trapdoor and place that on this block right here and make sure it's open just like that. Then go over to this side, and then we need to get a couple of signs. So put one sign on here, and then go around and put another sign on this block right here just like that. Then we get another block and place it on top of this sign over here. Over at the front, we're now going to create the area for our adult villagers once they've grown up. So now we need to create a platform here that is 3 by 5. So we've got 1 block here already. So we can go 1, 2 over here to make 3 that way. And then we go 5 this way. So we've got 1 already. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So fill all of this in just like this. And then make sure you've got a 2 high wall all the way around this. So we've got 2 like this all the way around just like this. Once that's done, we can now add some water into our system. So first of all, the first water source you can add, if you go down to here where we've got the 2 trapdoors, put a water just here with the water bucket, and then come on over to your area here where the adult village are going to be, and place your water source right here on this block just above this sign right here, just like that. And then this water should flow from here, and it should go all the way here, and all the current should lead all the villagers into this area right here. Next, get yourself 4 beds and place them down here on these blocks with the pillow end towards the villagers. So 1 here, here and here, and then another bed here just like that. We're almost done, and as you can see, we have a baby villager already in the system. So let's finish this thing off. So next up, let's look at the on and off switch. So what we need to do now is get a sticky piston and place it next to this block here, and then behind it, get yourself a lever and place it behind the sticky piston. So to turn it on and off, you just have to flip it like that. So that block is there, that turns it off. And then if you open it up again, it turns it back on. Now in the early game, sometimes it might be hard to get yourself a slime ball for this piston. So you don't need to have that. You can just get a block and place it here manually. That will turn the farm off, and then removing that block will turn it back on again. All right, so let's talk about the pickup system for the villagers now. So I did say that you can use any block to build this, but I would recommend that this block right here should be a glass block or some kind of transparent block. That's because when the villagers come out on the minecart, if this is a solid block, then they will take a little bit of damage. So probably make this one a glass block like I've got here. So to do the pickup system, we need to get ourselves a dispenser, not a dropper, a dispenser, and place it under this block right here, just like that. Then get yourself some minecarts and put them inside this dispenser, as many as you have, and then get yourself a button, either a stone or a wooden button, and place it on the dispenser just like that. Then get some more blocks. You can put a temporary block underneath the dispenser and then put two next to it, and then we can get rid of that one. We don't need that there. And then get another block up here like that, and then one more like that. And then we can have a few more blocks over here, and then put a block on top just to stop the villager. Now that would obviously go off into whatever system you want them to go to. Now we get two powered rails, one here and one here. Then get some normal rails here, 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 and here. Now that should be all we need. A couple of things to mention before we finish up. First of all, this villager breeder will produce 2 villagers every Minecraft day. If you want more than that, then you'd have to expand this and have more beds and more breeding pairs. But that's something you could do if you need more villagers. But I think that's probably enough for most casual players. The second thing is that you need to be careful of lightning strikes if you build this out in the open like I've done here. So you might want to build this underground in your base with a roof, that kind of thing. But if you do build it out in the open, you need to do something that I've done here, which is to add a roof above all of the places where the villagers might be, and this needs to be at least 3 blocks away from this wall. So I've got 1, 2, 3 blocks here, and then the roof on top. So make sure you do that to protect your villagers from lightning strikes, because if they get struck by lightning, they will turn into a witch, and that is not good news. So you should try and avoid that if you can. Another thing to mention is to make sure that mobs can't get into this system, especially zombies. We don't want zombies getting in here, because if they do, they will either kill your villagers or they will convert them into zombie villagers, and we don't want that. I mean, I'm using glass here, so that's non-spawnable, but if you do use other blocks, make sure you've lit up the system, or you've put a roof on this place so so mobs can't get in. They won't spawn on top of farmland, that's no problem, but other blocks you use here, mobs may well spawn on. So there we have it, a nice and easy infinite villager breeder for Java Edition 1.16. Now I'd be very interested to hear what you think about this format and this series, and also if there's something in particular you'd like me to cover, a nice and easy design for something for your survival world, then let me know in the comments, and I can add that to my list of things that I want to add in this series. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then please hit the like button, and if you're new, then feel free to subscribe, and if you've got any comments or suggestions, then get in that comment section. Alright my geeks, until next time, I will see you later.